Hi everyone, welcome to the next part of this video series from Worlds of Wonder by Johanna Basford using our my Staedtler Design Journey pencils. Just as I zoom in to remind you that if you don't have the Staedtler pencils, then in the video description there are links to comparison charts that I've made where I have shown you equivalent colours with different pencil brands, so you can still colour along if you want to use similar colours and you don't have the particular brand of pencil. Now, I thought we might crack on and do some of these longer, larger bits today. I think they look rather good. And I'm thinking about colour. I think I might do a sort of brownish one here. So I'm just going to grab this colour. This is number 73. And I'm going to colour all of this in this colour first. Not too hard. You want to start lightly because I'm going to be putting some other colours on top, but I like to just put down a little base and then I can sort of see where the shape is and think about where I want to put some other colours on. We'll be going a little bit darker in certain areas in a bit. I'm gonna do something in these holes because I suppose that would finish there. Maybe it is see-through. Just have a little think about that as I go. So I hope everyone's well today and sort of having a good day, or maybe it's early yet. I do have a few morning things that I always do, which maybe as it's potentially early morning when you're watching this. So when I wake up in the morning, I try and think about my goals. I usually only concentrate on one goal at a time. Although some people say you can have lots, I find that having just one thing to think about is the best for me to concentrate on. So have a little think about my goal and sort of imagine what it would be like achieving it. I used to, my first main goal was meeting a man, and that worked well, my husband. And then I spent a long time concentrating on paying off the mortgage early, which we did do, so that was rather nice. And now I've got different goals. But so as I say, and then I've quite often had things like weight loss goals and different things like that as well over the years. This is 76. So I think about my goal first thing, imagine what it would be like to have achieved it. So I'm going to go in here a little darker, and then I'm going to sort of make this line my darker bit and then gently just sort of fade it out. I'm probably shading it a little bit. I hope it's sort of making sense. I'm just sort of tapering it off here. But this I will be doing another colour as well. So if it's not quite sort of blending or sitting evenly, don't worry. Yes, so I do that in bed before I get up. And sometimes, which I should do more, I plan my day. It's a little bit tricky these days because I've got the children home. They're on sort of on holiday. I tend to fit a little bit around them. I want to be flexible, and husband is home two weekdays as well, so it makes it a little trickier, but that's fine. Now I'm going to grab this 73 again. What I'm going to do is go over what I've done with the darker one and spread it a little bit further into each of these things. So I haven't been planning my days. I've just been going with it really, and perhaps I should a little bit sometimes. But I tend to talk to everyone about what their plans are before I sort of fit in with that really. I mean, this morning I was expecting to make videos first thing this morning. It's actually now after lunch, and this is my first one that I'm making of the day. But my son, what happened? I was waiting for husband to leave. He was a bit stressed, and so I always wait for him to leave anyway before I do very much. I was doing some computer work, you know. I think I'm going to use number 16 over the whole thing now just to try and bring it all together. And it will warm up a little bit because it's a nice warm yellowy goldy ochre colour like that. Okay, and my son was talking about how he wants to fit a desk in his bedroom, and that's fine, and he was saying about moving around this and that and the other and things, and we already had a few bags of things to go to the charity shop, so we'd had that plan to do today. But my other son was feeling a little bit under the weather. He got better through the morning and that was good, and we did go out. So me and the other boy sorted out his room a little bit. We actually sorted out some of his drawers because he had a lot of little bits and bobs hanging about and he didn't want that. I've gone over this and that wasn't my plan. So I think I'm going to change my plan for those dots and actually do them in the 76. I know that one's got a bit of 16 in it, but I think I can cover that over. I'm just going to do that on all of them, just block it in really. So we had a sort out in his room, found another bag of bits and bobs and sort of tidied out a few drawers and moved things into drawers, so it was all a lot neater, which was nice, he liked. I think I want a sort of reddish one here. What shades of red should we use? Or we could go brownish, reddish. Let's start with this one, I think. Excuse me, this is the 72. And what I'm going to do with this one is what I did with one across the page and do a darker bit around the edge rather than just going along one side like we did here. So I'll probably take it darker up here because it's narrow, and then sort of going around the edge of here and sort of tapering it out a little bit like that. So yes, we had another sort out. It really, well, he wanted to measure for where to put his desk, and while we were up there we just had a bit of a sort out. There's still so much stuff up there to sort out. He was like, I think we've learned our lesson that we shouldn't leave it so many years to have a sort out. I mean, we would look through his clothes drawer and we're finding clothes that were aged 12 to 13 and he's 18. And he's always been a little large for his age. Not, I suppose actually not in some clothes, but because he's tall. So, yes, that was interesting. So we got rid of, so we did that, and then we went to the clothes bank, recycling clothing bank, and put 3 bags of clothes in, including the bags which he was getting rid of too. They're like little drawstring swimming / PE bags. So we got rid of those, and then we took a Staedtler, I can't say it, mini one, and his guitar. It was again a sort of small sized one, and ukulele and things like that, and a bag of mixed bits and bobs into the charity shop. So there's some things. I also found loads of old pairs of spectacles, not just his, mine as well, and his brother's. Well, his were in his drawer, and then I found some more. And you tend to, I don't know if you do, if you wear specs, we tend to keep our previous pair. This is number 722, and I'm going to sort of do the next layer in really. Tend to keep our previous pair in case you sort of lose your pair or something. You've got an older pair to sort of lean on, fall back on type thing. But we do that and then we never get rid of the one before, if you know what I mean. So so we've got lots of pairs. I had one spare pair. Well, I had 2, I kept one. And one was bifocal, I think, and I wear varifocals now. And I'm quite liking the idea of going to this quite pale colour. I think I'm going to use this 222 in the centre of this and see how it looks. Yeah, so, and he had quite a lot of old pairs. Thing is, when they were younger, they used to get a free second pair, so they often had, you know, lots of pairs. But anyway, we've got those. We're going to hand them in. Our optician recycles old specs, so we shall take those up there at some point. But my other son, I swear, he's probably got some in his drawer, so we'll check for those first and take them all together. And yeah, so we did that, had a little trip to did a bit of recycling. It isn't a very neat, it's quite a sharp edge going into there. So I'm going to grab the 722 and just taper it in a little bit more. So on these edges where it looks a little bit, I'm just going to put a little bit more of this so it sort of looks a little bit tidier. Really, you don't have to worry. I mean, a plant might have a sort of a sudden change of colour. It doesn't need to be that, oops, neat. I've gone out of the line. I'm going to stop there before I go out of the line anymore. We're going to do this one in a similar way. I think it might be easier to put our base colour down first. So I'm going to use the 17 and then put a colour over the top. I'm going to try it that way round. And then if you are watching this before you colour, you can see which you think might be easiest. The thing is, this is quite a pale colour. I need to make sure I don't try and burnish it down into the paper so it shows up, or else I could end up not being able to add my next colour. So there is that one. I'll probably put some more of this down later. What should we use? We use this colour. Oh, I can't grab it. It is number 49, but I'm going to need to sharpen it a little bit before I start. So I feel like I haven't had a particularly productive day so far, but actually, yeah, I've done a fair bit, but not what I was thinking I was going to do today. But it's nice to, as I say, be a bit more flexible. So that's all good. He was also doing some revision because he's got, well, it's not until September he's got an exam, but I think he just wanted to have a look over the material because he hasn't studied. It's a sort of self-study thing. He can get a Word and Excel qualification, so he's having a little look at that as well. My other son was trying to put together his CV, but he said he couldn't remember any of the information he needed, but I could have helped him. I'm just trying to blend that in a little bit more, but he didn't ask me for help, so I was actually getting on with something else, so we'll see. I'll have to help him tomorrow with it. One boy seems more sort of self-sufficient work-wise than the other. This is 17 again. I'm going to go over all of it, just to sort of intensify it a little bit. I guess that's what happens. I mean, they're twins, you sort of expect them to be the same, but of course they're not. One of them's more like me and just sort of gets on, and the other one is more like his dad and needs a little bit of pushing. But you know, I'm going to do this one here now, and I think I'm going to go darker brown for this one. Let's do it in a different way. Let's grab the 77. This is really dark, so I'm not going to go down too hard. I'm just going to put a little bit here and then just start it off here, just fading it out quite quickly. I don't want it really, really dark. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this one, which is 7, and continue. Actually go over what I've done, like that. Oh, my stomach feels like it's going to rumble. I haven't long had lunch. It's probably my lunch in there. It's going to grrr. Oh, it's all right, I think, hopefully. And then the very end, what have we got? I was tempted to do a yellow, but I think it's a little bit too far away from our original colour. What I'm going to use actually is the 43. I'm going to go right over all of this, up to the tip, like that. There we go. Now, how are we doing for time? Oh, we're okay, because I'm trying to keep these to a reasonable length. We've got this shell, which I think I'll do, and then I might do this one if there's time, but this one feels like it's all part of this little group. What should we do with this one? We did sort of pink and blue for the last one. Let's do it a little bit differently. The sun is coming out. It's not quite reaching my book, luckily. I'm going to go for this one, the 222. I'm going to do it in the same way that I did this one. So we did a sort of stripe on one side. So I'm going to do that. And then here and sort of fade. Gosh, that sounds quite bright. I'm tempted to do this colour with it, the 43. This is more of a yellowy peach and the other one's more of a pinky peach. I think they'll work together well. They might look sort of corally. Okay, my son laughing next door. It's lovely. He'll be upstairs in his room soon doing stuff and I'll have to be all on my own. Well, actually my other son isn't going to put his things in his room. I'm going to make this green. He hasn't got room in his room to do it, but also he's not bothered about doing it either, so because I'm not sure what we would do if he wanted to. This is 5 because there's we can't give him a bigger room. He's got our room is the next biggest room. I think I'll make it dark at the bottom and just sort of fade it a little bit. Yeah, and we can't fit our bed in his room, so because you can fit a queen size double bed in, which is a smaller size to ours. We don't want a smaller bed. And so there is a little bit of room, but he's got a big wardrobe in his bedroom though, which he might feel he shouldn't have, but it's the only room that fits one in. So anyway, I think I used a little bit of 52 just as a sort of transition. I don't want too much because I want to do a lighter tip on these. I'm just going to use a little bit as it'll be easier than jumping to a really light colour really quickly. I thought it was going to really rain. It did rain a little bit just now. I went out to the bin to put a bag of rubbish out, so exciting. And there was some wet droplets on there where it had been raining. But the sky is so dark, but the sun is shining. 50 is such a typical British day. British summer, sunshine and showers is so typical. Right, just finishing this one off and then I shall have a look and see whether I'm going to do any more or leave it for today. We'll have a look at the time. As I say, these are supposed to just be a little 20-minute slow colouring. I think I've got enough time to do, oops, this little line of fish. Can you see these up here? I'm very tempted to do them all the same. They look so similar to each other. I mean, I haven't done all the other fish the same now, have I? Maybe I'll just do this one today and then those tomorrow. Not sure. I want to do it blue, but I want to do it in this blue. This is 359, so it's more sort of turquoisey blue colour. I'm going to do his tail with this one. Whoops, quite dark. And then I'm going to put a little bit of this on the bottom, like that. And then I'm going to get a lighter colour, number 35, and finish off the body. Go over what I did, and then just take it up to the top, like that. There we are. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. So thank you very much for watching. It doesn't feel like we've done much, but I've got a huge pile of pencils beside me, so I've done a fair bit. Let me see, we went to about there, didn't we? So that is that bit done. Yeah, we've got quite a few more videos to go, which will be lovely. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really, really super day. Please tune in tomorrow for the next part, and happy colouring.